So hey, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. I'm doing great. And so, how did our paths just cross right now? How did we meet?
Well, I'm here just doing my hike for the day, and you approached me. As actually I was about to keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
Been sitting here for maybe about 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
Did a little meditation and just soak up the energy from this little area.
Absolutely.
This is fantastic. It's a great thing that they did here.
Absolutely. And what she's talking about, they have like a little pond here, over at Kennethon Park, and it's a really nice little area. It has a nice little outlook over here. Not too bad. And so, let's get right into it. Well, first of all, what did I approach you about? What are we going to talk about? What were the subjects that I told you about?
About reflexology and I guess self-care and.
So yeah, it was feet, mental health, and reflexology.
Yeah.
And reflexology, absolutely. What's your thoughts on, because you already told me a little bit about like what you're going through in terms of a life coach that you have. So in terms of the mental health, is there anything that like you know about it already, like any different views or anything like that?
Oh, it's been an amazing journey for me. I have my personal therapist. I have a life coach. I've been getting into meditation for the past couple of years. I do yoga. It's just been an amazing thing. A lot of self-healing, doing a lot of self-work, inner child work, just trying to become a more well-rounded person.
Absolutely.
Healing a lot of things that have affected me through my adulthood, that has affected my work, my relationships, my family, my friendships, all of that. And so all those things put together have been incredible. Doing a lot of reflection lately is just amazing how much it has changed me.
Good.
The way I approach my relationships, the way I see life, the way I see myself, it's been pretty incredible. So I think it's something that everybody needs. It shouldn't be a luxury.
Absolutely.
You know?
What, in terms of reflexology, we spoke a little bit about it. What are what's your knowledge on it already? Like, what do you know about it?
I did acupuncture for a while. I did it for about a year and a half. It would be a weekly session, about 20 minutes, and then the massage therapist would come in and she would do a little bit of massage for about another 15 minutes. And they would give me a lot of tips of things to do in between my appointments. And they would kind of briefly touch on reflexology, acupressure, the good places, to massage and pressure yourself when you're having stress, you're having trouble sleeping. And it was great. I loved it. That's another thing also that's that's part of your healing. It's natural, no medications. You feel amazing. You just got to be open to it.
Absolutely. That's
the thing. You got to be open to all of these things for it to work. And reflexology was a really good one. They didn't really touch too much on it. I kind of just, sometimes will go online and look up something to help me. Let's say if I'm just feeling very stressful.
Okay, cool. And we'll go into a little bit of it later on about a little bit more in depth. Let's start with some of these questions, okay? So what's something that you like that other people might find weird? So like maybe a hobby you may have, something like that.
Let's see. Everybody's into true crime documentaries and things like that. I am very partial to a specific era. Like for some reason, the 70s and early 80s true crime cases just fascinate me. Like it's a missing persons case from like 1995. I'm like, I'm sorry. If it's one from 75, I'm like fascinated. I don't know why. It's just that whole era I've always loved anyway. So I always gravitate towards that. I look up cases from that specific time period. I don't know why.
It's pretty cool. Has anyone ever made you feel insecure about your body or a certain body part?
I don't don't think of one specific person. I think just in general, society does tend to really put a focus, especially on women.
Yes.
So we're constantly scrutinizing ourselves with our bodies, and that has been part of the work that I'm doing with myself is to be more comfortable in my body. That I don't have to have a flat stomach. I also don't have to be, super thick and cakey, to look good and feel good about myself. So that's a tough one, because it doesn't have to necessarily be your family or your friends. It could be just society in general. We do need to change that.
So you would say that you're still like working through that in life, like it's still something that like
definitely
every day.
Definitely, like today I could look at myself and be like, I like the way I look, and then tomorrow I could be like, damn, I really could use to lose a couple of pounds.
And I think that happens to all of us, and like you said, society. What another lady was telling me, the lady with the Hawks, as a matter of fact, I was telling you about beauty industrial complex, right, where they get you to think a certain way, and your mind gets geared towards that. So absolutely, we do need to change in terms of that. If there was one thing you could change about yourself, right, and it doesn't have to be physical, but just anything, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a tough one, because I'm working through that right now.
Okay.
It's my confidence. That's actually something that I'm working on with my life coach this week. Is about gaining that confidence to talk to you right now, and in my head I could be thinking, man, I sound stupid, or I don't know what I'm talking about, I look ridiculous, I'm making funny faces, whatever it is. And no, my other voice is saying, no, you have something to say, and if you can help out anybody out there, why not go for it?
Because we all have a voice, and it's and the reason why I'm doing this is to get, like I said, the different range of reactions and things like that. Because that way, if I went to the same person and got the same interview every single time, it wouldn't be the same as getting different reactions. So I love the fact that you're doing this with me. How do you feel about your feet? What are your thoughts?
My feet?
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
They're all right.
You like them? You like them? You don't like them?
They're all right. Okay. I'm not definitely my favorite body part. Okay. But I try to take care of them. I like to do the pedicures and massage myself at home, especially after a long walk or exercise. Sometimes you can make a wrong movement, and I try to take care of them as much as possible. Sweet. I like wearing sandals.
I mean it's always a great thing. Have you ever received any compliments on your feet? Don't think so.
Unless you count like dogs licking your feet.
Well, I mean, that's probably the ultimate compliment, right?
Maybe they just think like, but I've had that, like, just random dogs, and I'm petting them, all of a sudden they start licking my feet. I'm thinking, I don't know.
So let's go deeper. How would you feel, because you're not sure if you have received one or not, how would you feel if a man gave you a compliment about that? Like in passing, you're wearing sandals, and he said, hey, you have nice feet. What would your thoughts be?
Thank you.
Okay.
That's very nice.
Sweet. How would you feel if a woman gave you the same compliment?
Thank you.
Okay.
That's really nice. I think that's even nicer to hear, because that's the one thing that I think also we need to do amongst women is to compliment ourselves and to empower ourselves and say, you look great.
Absolutely.
That's a big one. So when I get compliments from women, it's really, really nice. And also I like to vocalize that. If I see a woman that looks great, or even
nice hairstyle or something like that,
or even in my yoga class, that I see them struggling with a pose and they actually do it, I'm like, hey, right on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that was actually, you kind of already answered my next question. So you did say that when you get a compliment from a woman, it's received a little bit better. Now, is that because somebody I interviewed before said that usually women, they're taught from a young age to kind of hate on other girls and dislike. And so usually when you get that compliment, it's seen as more sincere. Whereas when a guy gives you a compliment, it sometimes can be because they're trying to get something out of you. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. We are taught from the get-go to be competitive with each other. To, you know, it's always something.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely when you get a compliment from another woman, it does mean something.
Okay.
With a guy, it could be, yeah, they want something, but at the same time also it's, well, I think guys are also kind of shown, like, compliment the girl. You see a girl, oh yeah, you're pretty, tell her. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different.
And I think too that men have to get better at giving compliments that are, you know, not just about she's pretty, be specific about something like, hey, I like the way that your hair looks. I like the way that, you know, your makeup is, or whatever that is. I think we don't tend to be as detailed as what some women can be.
Yeah, that's true. And I've received compliments from men about, let's say, my hair, and it's like, wow, that's cool. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Like, definitely.
That's when you know that they're paying attention.
Yeah.
What would your thoughts be on if you started, like, if you were dating somebody who was into feet? Like, how would you feel about that? Would you be for it, not for it?
Hey, to each their own.
Absolutely.
You know.
Okay. Okay. If you just started dating someone, when do you think is the appropriate time for them to bring up any type of fetishes they may have? I've had some people say early on, like right away. One girl said, I want to know right away so that way, she's like, I would respect them for knowing about it, but then I'd probably be out. And then I had another girl, she said somewhere in between the part, because she feels like as you meet, you start dating, and then you become boyfriend and girlfriend. She feels like it's somewhere between the dating and the becoming official. Well,
I would agree with that. Actually, I think that's a good period of time. You really do start to get to know each other. And I think we try so hard to just kind of be perfect.
Absolutely.
You know, and then later on, that's where you start finding out, little quirks here and there that for the other person it might not work.
Yeah.
You know, so I think just being open and honest is the good way to go. And if that person doesn't like that, then they're not meant for you. Yeah,
exactly.
And vice versa.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
How often do you get pedicures?
Well, right now with the whole COVID thing, I haven't gone in months, but I usually try to do it about once a month.
Okay, so you're doing most of your own self-care when it comes to that at home. Do you, or
no? Like pedicures, I go.
So you go get them done.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How often do you wear, like, open-toed shoes, sandals, things of that nature?
All the time. I think the only time I wear them closed is, like, let's say when I'm
you're out walking.
Exercise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, and how often do you go barefoot?
Oh, all the time. I'm pretty much barefoot at home. I have my sandals, you know, like my slippers, and I hardly even wear them. I take them off almost immediately.
Cool. Okay, and so while I have you on camera, can we see what your feet look like up close?
Yeah.
Okay. And let me get you.
My life coach is gonna be so proud of me.
Leave your socks on and then put your feet up here.
Tell her this.
Yeah, because we went from you at one point, you were like,
I don't know,
I can't. You was like, nah, I'm too shy. And then we've gone to, and then you take the other one off too, and just put them up here. Yeah, we went from one point, you were like, I don't know, and then now you're like, hey, I'm more comfortable.
Might as well.
Okay. And so you have these socks on, the floral arrangement here. And you got good toe alignment, I can see right there. That's nice. Okay, and can you take your socks off?
Yeah, I like I said, you know, they're all right, you know.
Well, it's cool because, like, we get different ones, and you have the all natural going on, and then you take that one off and then put it up here. And then...
like I said, I haven't gone in a while.
Okay. How are you feeling right now that we're going through this, and you're sitting here, you went from 1 minute being like, I'm not sure, so now you're out here and
I can't believe I'm
doing that. But listen, this is a part, like you said, the work, because you're doing it with your life coach, and so to be able to be comfortable enough to be interviewed and then be like,
and I know that this is gonna go,
it's on YouTube. Absolutely. So
yeah,
it's like, but how are you feeling? Like, you feeling okay, or you?
Yeah, I'm actually feeling okay.
Good. I'm glad.
I know I'm laughing a lot, but
it's okay. It's okay because it's helping you through. It's helping you cope through that, I'm guessing. All right. So let me throw in the mental health aspect, okay? So I got this idea during quarantine. I was watching another guy's channel, and his channel is called Scouting Sessions, just in case you ever want to check it out, or anybody who's viewing this might want to check it out. And during quarantine, he was, like, dealing with, like, approaching a lot of women and talking to them, and a lot of them had been you know, locked away for, you know, a long time, hadn't talked to anybody, and so there's a lot of mental health issues coming about from that. And so he was talking about something called DBT. Have you ever heard of that? Maybe your life coach or therapist has talked about it. Dialectical behavioral therapy?
No.
So it's for people who suffer from anxiety, or they have different fears, they deal with depression, things like that. What they try to teach those people is to constantly go out and put yourself in the uncomfortable situation, right? So if you have a fear of approaching strangers, constantly keep going out, keep doing it, go approach strangers. And when you're in the situation, you do a self-assessment to ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Which is what I asked you earlier, right?
Right.
And if you do that self-assessment and you don't find anything that could be a threat to your life or to your safety, you should proceed. Because if you proceed, you may like experience like good events, pleasurable moments, meet good people, things like that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that? Because like this is pretty much that, right?
I absolutely agree. I mean, basically, it's what they've been teaching me without actually putting it into an actual phrase. But that's basically been it.
Yeah.
Because I have dealt with anxiety and trying to kind of step outside of my box to help overcome that has been really helpful. My life coach has had me do journaling work where, for example, I'll write down if you knew that you are absolutely loved, what would you do?
Yeah.
And just do like one simple thing. So one time it was just, I'm working from home. If I knew that I am loved, what would I do? I got up, I dressed up, I put on makeup, I went all out. Like I was even wearing heels while I'm working from home.
Sweet.
So for this week, it's okay. If you had 10 out of 10 confidence, what would you do?
And like this is a part of it.
This is pretty much it.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, to me, this is going to be very great. Like you said, very good feedback you'll get from your life coach, because it's like you're actually doing the work. You're putting yourself in the situation. I know it's not comfortable because, first of all, like even for me, right on this side, it's not comfortable for me to walk up and like ask these questions like that because I don't know how you're going to react or whatever like that. But I come out and I do it over and over again just to see like who will say yes, who will say no, like things like that. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So let's get to the reflexology portion. You talked a little bit about it earlier. Reflexology is like the study of the different pressure points we have in our hands and feet. And those points correlate back to like different parts of our body. And through like massage and acupuncture, like you said, you can alleviate stress and tension like in those areas. Yeah. You already said that you're a component for that. You believe in that. You've had it done before, right? So absolutely. So now that we reach this portion, I always ask, how ticklish are you?
I'm pretty ticklish.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I'd say probably an 8.
8?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we test it?
Okay.
All right. So extend your feet out.
Okay.
And we're gonna start right. We're gonna go right to left. Okay. And try to get some. I'm adding photos for my Instagram. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And is it more here, towards the top, right here, towards your heel? Okay. Let's try the left, and then one's usually more sensitive than the other, so I want you to try to pay attention to the sensation,
that
okay?
makes sense.
So 1, 2, 3, okay? And it's that one. That's the left. Hold on. Let's do it one more time. Let's go through it. Let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And not this one as much because you still hold your foot place. And then this one, that's the one right there. All right.
I'm a lefty, so I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe.
Well, you know what? Believe it or not, that has a lot to do with it because like our predominant side is usually the side where like not only that, but a lot of times you hear people say like that one foot's longer than the other or stuff like that. Usually the predominant side, things like that.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Absolutely. So now you said it was about an 8. What was it for the right? Was it an 8 or was it lower?
No, I would probably say maybe like a 6.
And then for the left?
Yeah, it's.
Would it be higher or is it at an 8? Would you think?
No, I would say at an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, I mean, you went through this, and I you know what? For me, like, because I don't always meet people like you. Sometimes I meet people who are like super open. Like, they're like right away, like, yeah, let's do the interview. And for you, you were like a little bit on, I don't know, but you ended up going through and you went all the way to the tickle portion, right? What are your thoughts on what my approach was to you when I first came up and I asked you about the interview? Was it good, bad? What did you think?
It was good because you just kind of went for it. You know what I mean? And said, hey, you know, this is what I'm doing, you know, and explain what it was, you know, and, you know, already giving me your channels, I can easily look it up and be like, all right, this is legit.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the biggest thing for me. Like, I try to, when I'm out, let people know automatically, like, hey, this is my channel, so that they know I'm not, like, trying to do anything crazy or nothing like that. So I try to make sure I give you that information right away, so you know, like, where this stuff is going, what's happening with it. What are your thoughts about the interview from beginning to end? Did it make sense? Did you learn anything new? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would say it makes sense. I think it's all related. Okay. You know, mental health, reflexology. I mean, all of that just goes well. Or you might not be into reflexology, but mental health is like where you start.
Absolutely.
You know, just there's different resources, you know, it depends on what you want to do. Not everybody will think that what I do would work for them. So it just really depends, but I think it's a good combination. Well, I mean, I learned that, you know, there's a couple of other things that I can try.
Absolutely.
I also learned that, you know,
actually you learned, like, if I from the perspective I'm speaking from, like, looking at you, and when you told me how things work for you early on, I think that one other thing you can take from this is that you learn you can go through something like this, right? You can expose yourself to, like, being out there, because you were first like, I'm not really a camera person, I'd rather be behind the camera, and I get that, but, like, you learn I can do it. So now if you ever need to, when this YouTube video comes out, you can always go back and be like, I did it before, so I can do it again. So that's always great. So lastly, like I said, I always ask for the feedback in terms of something you can give to the channel from a mental health standpoint, or something you learn as a life lesson. What's something that you would want to, like, send out there?
You're awesome and amazing, and you can do whatever you want. The only thing that limits you is you. Absolutely. And it is possible to grow, to evolve, to heal, and you are loved. It not necessarily by the world, but by you. That's the one thing that I've learned, that I've always had somebody there that loves me, and that's me. It's just I've had to work at it and to understand that, to understand that and to believe that. But you are loved. You are loved. You're amazing. You can do anything.
That's great. I like that. It's simple, but at the same time super effective, because, like, you know, you think about it in those ways. Okay, I'd like to get you to do one other exercise while I still have you out here. Extend your feet one more time. I'm gonna have you to do a couple of things to see if you can do it seamlessly without any problems. Okay. First of all, can you scrunch your toes, like make a fist? Okay. Pretty easy, no pain or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Okay, now relax. Okay, I'd like you now to spread your toes. Is that easy?
Yeah.
Okay. Last one, wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds. And tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort.
No.
Nothing?
So far, nothing.
Okay, cool. That's pretty much it. Any last thoughts, any last words about the experience, anything?
No, just thank you for approaching me.
Absolutely. You know, thank you for saying yes.
You know, I wasn't even going to come on this side of the trail. So, you know, also I am a huge believer in fate. So things happen for a reason. You attract things, right, into your life. And so you were looking for a way to, like, work on your stuff. I'm looking for a way to, like, you know, build my content on my channel, but also to, like, just meet new people. And so we ended up, boom, meeting right directly and dead smack in the middle. So it's amazing. It's just, you know, you change your energy, you throw it out there, and it will come back to you. Absolutely. Twofold. So yeah, if there's anything that anybody can take from this is you're loved, you're amazing, and you shift your energy, and all good things will come to you. Sweet. Thank you so much. Appreciate the interview, and hope you have a great one, okay? You too. All right.